In this video, we're going to talk about voiced and voiceless consonants. Voiced means that you use your voice when you say the consonant. So if you put your hand on your neck when you're saying it, you'll be able to feel your vocal cords vibrating. Voiceless consonants are those that don't use your voice. So when you pronounce them, if you put your hand on your neck, you might not feel your vocal cords moving. Although if it's in the context of a whole word, you might. I think you'll see the difference in a little bit. Let's use the example of the letter J. Say the letter J and then put your hand on your neck while you say it. J. Do you feel your vocal cords moving? You do, and that means that J is voiced. And now we're going to talk about sh, but go back to J for a second. Say it again, but take your voice away in the middle of saying it. Do it like this. What happens? Now you're saying sh. Sh is voiceless, and it's basically the voiceless counterpart of j. They're really the same sound, but j uses the voice, sh does not. Now how about v? Can you figure out if it's voiced or voiceless? Say it and put your hand on your throat. V. You can feel your vocal cords. So it is voiced. Now try saying it and taking your voice away in the middle of saying it. V. That's right. F is the voiceless counterpart of V. Now try ka. What do you think? K, k. It's voiceless. You don't need to use your voice in order to say k. So does k have a voiced counterpart? Since k is voiceless, what happens if we put our voice and make basically the same sound? K, 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 g, 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 g. Right. K voiced is g. How about b, voiced or voiceless? B, b, b. B is voiced. You have to use your voice to make that sound. So what's the voiceless counterpart of b? B, 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 p, p, p. Voiceless b is p. So, let's make a list. Voiced and voiceless. We already figured out some of these. What did we say? K? K was voiceless. And its voiced counterpart? K, 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 g, g, g. G is the voiced counterpart. So we already did K and we already did G. What else did we say? We said sh. Was sh voiced or voiceless? Voiceless, right. And how about its voiced counterpart? Sh, zh. Voiced. We've also already done p. Voiced or voiceless? P is voiceless, and its voiced counterpart we said was b. B. Now let's try a few more. Oh wait, we have one more we already did. How about this one? V. Voiced. And its voiceless counterpart was f. Now there are just a couple more to try. How about d? Voiced or voiceless? D, 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 voiced. And what if we take away our voice? D, 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 t, 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 te, da, t. Хорошо. Now let's try voiced or voiceless. Voiceless. If we add our voice, z. So here are our voiced and voiceless pairs. So why are these pairs important? Well, there are a few pronunciation rules that depend on your knowledge of voiced and voiceless. So, for example, when we have something, a letter at the end of a word that's voiced, like for example here we have zub, b is voiced at the end of a word. When a voiced consonant is at the end of the word, it becomes pronounced as if it were voiceless. So, zub, we don't say, we say zup, like p. How about this one? If we end this word, which of course you know, city, город, if we have d at the end, d is voiced, so it will become город, pronounced like t. How about this one? We have j at the end of the word, voiced. What's its voiceless counterpart? Sh. So this word sounds like bagash. How about this one? Z at the end of the word, which is voiced, sounds like s, jazz. This pronunciation is also important not only at the end of the word, but when we have a consonant cluster. What does that mean, a consonant cluster? It means when there are consonants clustered together. So look at this example. Here we have a consonant cluster in the middle of the word. D, k. And when we have a consonant cluster, what happens in Russian is that the last, whatever is the last consonant, in this case it's ka, whether that consonant is voiced or voiceless determines the whole group. So k is voiceless, d is voiced. So what will happen is this k will force the d to become voiceless, which means that the d will sound more like t. Vodka. Vodka. Let's take a look at this one. Here we have a consonant cluster. We have this here too, but this one doesn't really count. These two consonants, the last one, if the last one is the king, t, is it voiced or voiceless? It's voiceless, whereas v is voiced. So since this one's the last one, t, it affects this one, making it become voiceless as well. So what's the voiceless counterpart of v? It's f. So завтра. Try this one. T is voiceless, b is voiced, so t will make b become voiceless as well. Subtitry. This b will sound more like p. This can sometimes even happen over boundaries of words, especially with prepositions. Like this one here. We pretend this is like the same as if it were in one word. We pretty much always will smash the preposition with the next word. So k is voiceless, v is voiced. So what will happen here? V will become f. So в Канаде. All the examples I showed you before were voiceless consonants forcing voiced ones to become voiceless. But it can happen the other way around too. Let's look at this consonant cluster here. We have b being the last. Remember that the last consonant is always the king. So b is which? Voiced or voiceless? It's voiced. And t is voiceless. So this b will force the t to become voiced. D. So this sounds more like basketball. D. Almost like d there instead of t. Take a look at this word here. Z. Voiced. K. Voiceless. So z forces k to become more like g. Вокзал. Look at this big consonant cluster here. It's got 3 in a row. The mjaki doesn't really count. D, voiced. It's the last one, so it makes this become voiced, and this one also to become voiced. So T will become D, and S will become Z. So this sounds more like 60. And if you think about it, it makes more sense because it would be too hard to stop your voice in the middle of a consonant cluster. So they all, when they're together, they do the same. And just like we said before, this can also, especially in fast speech, can go across word borders. So here we have a consonant cluster, and here we have a consonant cluster. So here the Z voiced, so it will affect the S, making it also Z. V, voiced, affecting the K, making it more like G. And this might depend on how fast a person is speaking. But especially if they're speaking fast, this might sound more like как вас зовут rather than как вас зовут. Как вас зовут. You can hear how that is assimilated. And that's what this is called. It's called assimilation.